Good afternoon, everyone. Brennan here with Instant Weather for our solar eclipse coverage. And as you can see, the solar eclipse has already started as we get closer to totality over Manzanilla, Mexico. See, it's about half full there as from NASA's live stream. And we also have a map here as we track the shadow as it goes across North America. So right now it's located over the ocean and it's tracking towards Manzanilla, and then it will make its way through Texas, and then the rest of the US, and then up towards southern Ontario, Quebec, and then into New Brunswick. And then we will also go over the maps that we put together for this event. So here we go. So this is our map. So we'll start with southern Ontario. So here's southern Ontario. So as you can see, the line of totality stretches from Leamington through Chatham up towards Hamilton, into Kingston and Cornwall. And then further to the northwest, we have 90% or greater coverage, which really we've explained a lot that totality is really what matters. If you want to experience the thrill of a solar eclipse, you really need 100%, so 99.9%. But if you have your solar glasses, you can still look up at the sky and you can see the little sliver of the sun. And then as we head further north, there's less coverage in northern Ontario. So we have 80% for like Sudbury, Elliott Lakes, Sault Ste. Marie, Chapleau, Timmins, and then 70% for Cochrane, Kapuskasing, Wawa, Marathon. And then we go up to northwestern Ontario where we have 70% for Marathon, and then towards Thunder Bay, Fort Frances, Armstrong, Fort Hope, Geraldton, we have around 60%, and then less than 60% further to the west. And then as we head out east for Atlantic Canada, they're also looking at a great show. And as we've been discussing in Ontario, we're kind of dealing with some cloudiness, but in New Brunswick, they have a perfect viewing opportunity. I'll also bring up our conditions forecast so you can see out east, it couldn't even be better. So we'll look at, so as you can see, the path of totality goes from Woodstock, Grand Falls, just north of Fredericton, and through Miramichi and Bathurst, and our conditions are completely clear, not a single cloud. But when we turn into Ontario, that's where things get tricky. This is our map we put together last night. Might be a little different than what we're seeing now. We'll look at satellite and we'll go over that information. But basically, the best chance to catch the solar eclipse in southern Ontario is if you go towards Leamington, Chatham, and into St. Thomas. That's where we have the most clear conditions. And then when we get into like Brantford, Hamilton, Niagara Falls, we're dealing with some cloudiness, but latest model data does indicate we may see some clearing just before totality in the 3 o'clock hour. And then we're going to see totality in Belleville, Kingston, Brockville, and Cornwall. And Brockville is actually where our own Alana is. And hopefully she'll be able to bring us some live reports from there. But her cellular reception isn't working the greatest. So fingers crossed that she's able to bring us some coverage there. But unfortunately, we're kind of dealing with some clouds through central Ontario into the eastern part of the province. So Kingston, Belleville, it's questionable if you'll be able to see it. But further east, we're dealing with higher level clouds, which hopefully will mean that the sun will go through the clouds. So you will be able to capture a bit. And those areas not in totality, the timing doesn't really matter as much because you can look at it any time between like 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock when the the eclipse ends, you're gonna get the same experience. You should probably look at it the closest to maximum eclipse time, which is in the 3 o'clock hour, but if it's cloudy, you should hopefully be able to get a view of it. So we will look at, so as you can see, I brought up a live satellite map courtesy of the NOAA, and you can even see the eclipse as it tracks towards Mexico, Manzanilla, and you can see on the NASA live stream that the eclipse is slowly getting closer to Manzanilla. So I'm gonna refresh that map, and we'll also go over the satellite view for Southern Ontario, a closer zoom, so we can see where the clear skies are. So I'll do that. So here's a look at the current satellite map for Southern Ontario, courtesy of Pivotal Weather. So as you can see, the skies are clearing in Southern Ontario, Southwestern Ontario, thankfully. So towards Windsor, Leamington, Chatham, Sarnia, and our own Patricia and Lindsay are in Chatham, and they are reporting clear skies. So we should hopefully get some sort of reports from them as we get closer to totality. Let me just go to your comments so we can answer some. We have 10,000 people watching us, so bear with us that their comments will be a little slow, but I'll try my best to get to them. We also want to go over some safety information. We have a registered optician joining us in the 2 p.m. hour with Adam, who's going to go over some safety tips to help protect your eyes, because you should never look at the sun during a solar eclipse outside of totality. If you are in the path of totality, I'll bring up the safety map, the safety graphic I'll put together. So you can see here, our safety tips is you should always use your eclipse glasses, but there is an asterisk to that. It is safe to view the eclipse only during totality and if you are in the path of totality. And when we're talking about totality, we're talking about 100% fully, not 99.9% or 95%. You need 100%. So you can take off those glasses during those few minutes of totality, but you need to put them back on once the sun comes across, shines through on the other side. So that's very important, because it may not necessarily be uncomfortable when you look at the sun without the glasses, because our natural reflexes, when you look at the sun when it's full, the light tells you to automatically close your eyes or look away. But when it gets closer and closer to 100%, that effect isn't really true. You can look at the sun without discomfort, but the UV rays can still burn your retinas, and you can end up blind, or you can have blind spots. So do not look at the sun without the proper glasses unless you are in the path of totality. And as for sunglasses, do not use them. They are not the same as eclipse glasses. We have a good video on our page if you want to go there with a registered optician that looks at the difference between a fake eclipse glasses and real. If you put on the glasses and you can see the outside, then they aren't safe. When you put them on, you should only see the sun and maybe a little bit of your phone's flashlight. That's about it. So make sure you test them before you look at the skies, because we've heard reports that there's a lot of counterfeit glasses going out around there. And then when you're taking pictures using your camera or telescope, you need to have a solar filter on them. You can use the filter that comes in with the glasses, or they were selling them, or some of them come equipped with them, but this also goes for your cell phone. Do not point your cell phone at the sky and without the filter on it, because you can destroy the lenses on your phone, and you don't wanna do that when your phone's so expensive, so please don't do that. So as we went through that, so we'll look through I wanna also talk about the path of totality that we've been talking about a lot. I put together a map here, so this is when we're gonna get really started here. So Leamington will be the first to experience it around 3:13, and it'll last until 3:15, so it'll be about 2 minutes. It depends on where you are on the path of totality. If you're closer to the edge, it will last a lot less longer. So some areas like Chatham, for example, will be under a minute depending on where you are. It's only the southeast portion of Chatham that will experience totality, so it's very important where you are. And then Niagara Falls, unfortunately, is dealing with a lot of clouds at the moment. We will take a look at the live view of Niagara Falls right now. I'm just gonna bring it up here. So here's a look at Niagara Falls, courtesy of EarthCam. You can see people are starting to congregate on the side as we wait, but sadly, it does look like there's a bit of cloud there. We'll take a look at the side. Like you can see there is some clouds over Niagara Falls. Although there is some good news that the cloud cover does seem to be a little faster than models indicated. So hopefully it will clear by the mid 3 o'clock hour when we experience totality. It's getting there. The clouds deck is just near Woodstock at the moment. As you can see, they've just moved the camera so we can have a better look at. Here's a live view of Niagara Falls, and as you can see, there is clouds up there. Hopefully they'll be breaking soon. And we are approaching totality in Mexico. Manzanilla, you can see on the right hand of the screen, we have a live stream from NASA, and we are getting close to totality. I'll bring up the We'll take another look at the satellite image as the Eclipse comes. It's just loading for a minute. Then we'll do so as you can see, the lower left-hand side of the satellite image are starting to darken. So we will see the eclipse shadow as it crosses over North America towards Southern Ontario. So even if we don't get clear skies in some parts of Southern Ontario, we will be still able to see it on satellite. So I will bring up the live tracker map right now as it approaches Manzanilla, Mexico. Give me a moment here. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. We'll go back to looking at the map as it tracks towards Manzanilla. And as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to the eclipse, the full totality in Manzanilla, Mexico. So we'll continue to watch towards that. Can everyone hear me now? Okay, perfect. Because there's background noise in my earpiece and I don't know where it's coming from and I can't figure it out. So I just want to make sure you guys can't hear that. So we're continuing to track it as it towards Manzanilla, and we have another view of, I believe that's Tehran, Mexico. My pronunciations are going to be horrible. My pronunciations with English towns are horrible, let alone Spanish. So that's going to be interesting. But we're closing in on totality in Manzanilla and the surrounding areas in Mexico, and that will be the first part of totality we will see. So we will continue to watch this. And we're getting closer to totality in Manzanilla, Mexico. We'll refresh the satellite image here. And maybe we'll also take a look at Niagara Falls. So here's Niagara Falls at the moment. We're getting there. It's still cloudy there, unfortunately, but you can see there's a lot of people along there. They definitely showed up. I heard the GO trains were packed this morning in Niagara Falls, even despite all the cloudiness. So fingers crossed that we can get clear skies in by 3 p.m. for totality. And we're closing in on totality for Manzanilla, Mexico, which is the first place to experience it. So we'll watch that together as it unfolds. And we're going to refresh the satellite here so we can watch totality as it happens going through Mexico. And we're getting close to totality in Manzanilla, Mexico. We'll continue to watch that. I'm still here in the background. I'm trying to figure out this background noise. It's crazy, but we'll figure this out. But we'll continue to watch this. I'll put a bit of background noise music for you. And we're continuing to watch this. We're getting closer and closer. You can see on the live stream from NASA right now. It's just a little sliver. We're getting there. And I'm back. I figured out my background noise. It was coming from one of our YouTube streams that we were showing on the thing. So we figured it out. So I'm back and I don't hear voices in my head, surprisingly. And we're getting closer to totality in Manzanilla. We're getting there. Almost. Just a sliver. Almost there. I'm just gonna we'll take a look at the Niagara Falls cam for a minute here while I refresh the satellite. So here's a look at Niagara Falls from Earth cam at the moment. As you can see, there's still clouds up there, and we'll take a look at the satellite over Southern Ontario. Clearing is still occurring to the southwest towards Woodstock. We will hopefully get there as we get closer to totality. We should be experiencing a partial eclipse soon. I believe that happens around 10 minutes ago in some parts of Southern Ontario. So you can go out there if you have clear skies. Don't forget your eclipse glasses and take a look and see that little chunk of the sun from the moon. And that chunk will get larger and larger over the next hour as we get closer to totality in the 3 o'clock hour. So I will bring back up the satellite and we'll refresh it so we can see as it tracks closer and closer to land. We're getting there. And we're gonna look. You can see on the live cam right there from Manzanilla, Mexico. We're approaching. We're getting there. Almost. We're seconds away, I think. I'll bring back up the live thing. We're almost there. It's there, almost. And totality's almost arrived in Manzanilla, Mexico, and you'll also see the corona and everything around it. It'll be beautiful. We've only just begun seeing the parts of it. We're getting there. Almost. Probably about 99% eclipse. So if you're in like Toronto, if you get clear skies, this will probably be the maximum of view that you will achieve. It's almost there. We're approaching it. And are you ready? Here we go. Almost about to experience totality. Almost there. We had a request to see if we can make that image larger. Let me see if I can do that on the fly here. Give me a minute. I will see if I'm able to make it larger. And as I said, we're in totality right now in Manzanilla, Mexico. Almost there. Oh, and just as I said totality, look who's arrived in the background. I don't know if he's ready to come up on the stream yet, though. But I'm going to call him out anyways. So we'll bring him. I'll bring him out.
Hey.
And
Totality, what's up?
In
All right.
in Mexico.
Let the games begin, everybody.
Beautiful.
How's everybody doing? Hi. It is I, Totality. I have arrived. Is this when does the apocalypse start? Totality. Is it right now? Oh, this is just an eclipse, right? This is not the apocalypse? This is just eclipse?
No.
I just wanted to make sure. Because I've heard some different rumors out there, so I just wanted to confirm. Hi everybody, how we doing?
You're really
long time no see. No, I know. So we'll leave it at that. I figured if I start with that, it's only going to get worse. But
oh, I've seen the comment section.
Oh yes. There's is it interesting?
Go up.
So okay, I'm just trying to watch this animation. This is pretty sweet. Brennan, you've done such a good job of setting this up. By the way, everybody give Brennan a huge applause. The big eclipse stream. I'm more interested in the tornado risk tomorrow, but we'll get to that in time. It's going to be interesting.
I know.
It like popped up out of nowhere, and now there's
set up the stream, and you're like, look at the models.
I'm like, where did this? I knew it was gonna happen. We were just talking about this. That's why I look at those long range. I look at the CFS. I look at the GEFS. I'm like, got to keep an eye on that stuff because out of nowhere, always in the spring, out of nowhere, it'll be like, oh look, tomorrow.
We have like 12,000 people watching us just geek out over model
data. I think this is our biggest stream ever. I don't think we've had a larger stream too. And it's interesting because I told my wife we were live streaming. She's like, nobody's going to watch that because they're just going to be outside watching the thing. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. And now it's our 12,000 concurrent viewers. Okay, that's it. Yeah. So if you add up Facebook and Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn, there is 12,138 people watching. That is ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. How's it going? Look at this live stream setup, though. This is some fancy stuff you got going on here. This is pretty cool. You got the perfect time at the bottom left. I'm just like, I was listening to you the whole time I was getting ready. I had you in my ear. But, oh, what was the background? Oh, one of the videos, right? One of the videos. Yeah, I didn't hear the noise, though. I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it because it was one of the YouTube videos. Like, I have a different stream. I have two of them.
Oh, you could hear it.
University of Toronto that we're going to show up on the stream, too.
Yeah.
And in OBS, it was feeding me the audio, so I had to turn it off. And I couldn't.
So you thought everybody could hear it, but it was really just you. I've had that problem before, too.
Because I think they use StreamYard, too, so it's the same background music. So I was hearing the feeding the ducks background.
I see. I understand. That makes perfect sense. So complete totality, says Mariana. Let me bring up her comment here. It says complete totality. And how do you pronounce that? I'm not going to try to pronounce a thing. I heard you mention that. Oh, I only heard you pronounce that.
There.
Oh, okay. Cool. Let's see here. Nice and sunny in London, Ontario, says Justin. You're not going to be in the path of totality, but if it's nice and sunny, then you're going to be able to see, with proper eye care, you'll be able to see it come across. Speaking of which, our sponsor from Ontario Opticians, who happens to be an old friend of mine from school, she is the executive director of the Ontario Opticians, and she is going to be joining us on the live stream shortly in a few minutes here. So I'm going to get her a link here and get her all set up. So let me work on that. 1 second here.
While you do that, I will bring up the Niagara Falls live cam to take a look at that. Ooh. Got the hiccups now.
Oh, do you? Is that because of the totality? Does it
I don't know.
No?
I'll just blame everything on the totality. That seems to be in trend.
Everything that occurs from now until it's over is the totality's fault. I'm pretty sure.
Just until now?
That's incorrect. But I'm gonna spew a lot of incorrect things here, just so everybody knows. Brennan will clarify and clear things up, but I will just
I'll just be sarcastic, and you'll just have to
constant garbage. Let's see. But the thing that's not going to be garbage though is I do want to talk about tomorrow though, because tomorrow came up out of nowhere. I noticed that in our team chat in the middle of the night, Cole was like, has anybody looked at the models? Because tomorrow looks pretty strong. And then I looked at it. Now there's a marginal risk from the SPC.
What could be happening today?
Yeah, well, no, let's not. So obviously it has absolutely nothing to do with the totality. It's called storms. Just so everybody knows, there were storms on Earth before humans existed. So
there's a fun fact. There's actually a storm risk. You can see it on the satellite right now over Texas. There could be tornadoes. Of
the time of the totality. Yeah, their risk is really strong down there today. Our risk is a marginal to a slight risk, but some of the model data is like, oof. It looks interesting. So we'll see where the big strong storms land. Some models are talking about Georgian Bay, like the storms kind of popping up over Midland and like moving up to the northeast. Some stuff near Deep River, up near Petawawa, Squirrel Depot, of course. So that area looks really interesting. The northeastern Ontario looks pretty darn strong. But if some stuff pops up in the southwest, some of the models had storms from like Orangeville all the way over to Oshawa. But we'll have to see what happens here. So yeah, it looks like our first relatively decently strong storm risk of the year. We did have one a long time ago, but it never really. It had there was actually I think some severe thunderstorm warnings. There was some large hail, right, that we had early on in the season, like February, which is pretty unprecedented for us. Look, it's B says Squirrel Depot. Yes, our favorite location, Squirrel Depot. Yeah, we love Squirrel Depot. But let's so where trying to see. I guess on the satellite feed you can't really. Is it blocking out the sun across all of like Mexico, or what? Why is it getting so dark there?
It does get dark. Is that because
of the? So it's really getting dark, like a wide swath.
You will see that big blob go over Southern Ontario, even in the areas where there's not totality.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I thought it was only supposed to be like a little bit outside of the totality is going to be darker, but based on the satellite footage, it looks like it's just darkening out everything. So maybe it will get. It is like complete cloud cover here in Barrie right now. So
yeah, that's the same thing in Toronto right now. Although there is
pretty brutal
in the clouds, I do see a bit of blue, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Oh, I better send Jennifer the link here. 1 second. Let me send Jennifer Wicks from. Okay, let's see. There's her link. I'm gonna say whenever you're ready. She's gonna come on and talk about some eye safety here. And she has a long title here. Let me find it. It is a lengthy title.
She's a registered optician, isn't she the executive director of the Ontario Optician Association?
I believe that is, and she's a registered optician. Yeah. I think. Oh, okay. You've got it all. All right. Perfect. Let's see here. Yeah, she says. Let's see. Executive director of the Ontario Opticians Association and registered optician. Yeah. She's awesome. Cool. So she if everybody saw that video we posted, right, where
telling people not to look.
Sorry, go ahead, Brennan. Say that again.
It's better than me just sitting here telling people not to look at the sun.
Yeah, I mean, of course, she's an expert, so she'll explain exactly why. Oh, there she is. There, if you want to bring her in, yeah, awesome. And she's got her
She's
logo
here.
up and her. Look how fancy her
Ooh,
stream
there
is.
she
Look how
is.
fancy your
Welcome.
stream is. That
Thank
is quite
you.
wonderful, Jennifer. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for joining us on the stream.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm really glad that we're able to help people kind of navigate through this whole eclipse.
Yeah, this whole event. Your video is awesome where you compared the crappy cheapo fake sunglasses, or not sunglasses, solar glasses.
Solar glasses?
Are they solar glasses?
They're
That's
solar
what they're
eclipse
called?
glasses. So
I see.
yep,
That's right.
I have them both here.
You've got them both there, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it's amazing to see the one basically does nothing. So that's horrifying if people have those and actually try to look up.
And the thing that's worse about it is the fact that it looks almost identical.
It has the fake certification on it too, and everything. Like
all the certification on it.
Why would somebody do this?
I don't know, but it even has a legitimate company's name on it, so it is a true counterfeit.
It's a true fraud.
Yeah. So
yeah.
like American Paper Optics is a legitimate company, and they did sell legitimate products, but this one has that name on it.
I see.
A different address. So
I see. Yeah.
That's kind of the scarier part.
Brendan's got these safety tips up on the screen here. So now I've even heard that you shouldn't, even with the glasses, you should probably not still stare too long at it.
No,
which is interesting.
You
think it's safe?
Kind of want to look at it and then look away. You want to enjoy it and then look away.
I see. So you shouldn't just like the whole time just beaming straight at it, even with those glasses on.
Even with the glasses.
Similar to the sun in general. Like you shouldn't just stare at the sun.
Even
in general.
Like you don't put on your sunglasses and just stare directly at the sun. It's the same idea.
I see. I understand. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, what can happen to your eyeballs if you didn't have any? Let's say you have the fake ones on that do nothing. I mean, maybe they have a little bit of a film. So but like, if you had the fake ones on, or if you didn't have them on at all, and you were to stare at the sun, I heard there's something with when the moon is like when there is that kind of horizon, it actually somehow makes it worse for your eyes. Is that true or no?
So what happens is when the coverage happens, like when the moon covers the sun, it does become dark and your pupils will dilate. And so your pupils will become very large, and then the light will hit your retinas just with that much more intensity. It's kind of like when you wake up and there's a bright light on. So you know how you like close your eyes and you're like, oh, this is painful. Well, it's like that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah. So your pupils are open, your pupils are dilated.
Yeah.
And therefore you're letting in more light.
Way more light.
And therefore it's more harmful for your retina?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it can cause solar retinopathy. And what that is literally a burning of the retina. And part of the problem here is your retina has 0 nerves in it. So you will not even feel it happening. Your face might feel hot from the sun itself, but your eyes will not physically feel like they're burning. And a lot of the time you won't feel any effects of it or see any of the effects unless it's like 4 to 12 hours later. So
now what happens 4 to 12 hours later?
So usually there's like a central black spot, or if it's more minor damage, like there's a waviness to straight lines. So
that's not good. So your eyes can be burning. You can't feel it.
Yes.
And then you don't really feel the effects of it until a half a day later.
Yeah, you won't see the effects of it until about half a day later.
And then how do you solve the problem then?
Well, unfortunately, it is incurable. So it will end up being low vision devices and that sort of thing from then on out. So
there's no like laser eye surgery that can help with that, or
no, it's not like a retinal detachment where they can like reattach it. It's literally a hole being burnt in the retina.
Through your retina. So that's not good. So I'm assuming that during this event, there's going to be a lot of people that are misinformed that melt their eyeballs and don't realize it. So
and that's why I made the video, was to warn people that there were all these fake solar eclipse glasses out there. And do you know the difference? And so I kind of left it up, and a lot of people didn't. So people were still asking at the end, which ones are the real ones? Which ones are the fake ones? Because
that's right.
They've been told, look out for fakes, but they haven't been told what to look for.
What to look out for, exactly. Can you go over that again? Because there's probably a whole bunch of folks. So, by the way, we have 13,253 people watching right now. So say hi to that giant room full of people. if you can imagine. It would be equivalent to, I think, what's the capacity of the ACC? Does anybody know? I think it's even less than that. So it's like basically you're on stage at the ACC. Go ahead.
Thanks. So what you're really looking for is, first off, you are looking to see if the ISO stamp is there. You're looking for a proper address. You're looking for the ISO number being 12312-2. But then you're also looking at the quality of the frame itself. So with this one, I've had it out of the package for, I don't know, about 24 hours now, and it's already starting to split. And I don't know if you guys can see that.
Is like super thin cardboard, or
super thin cardboard. The lenses themselves, there's not really much to them. And I don't know if maybe it won't work.
Oh,
but,
well,
no, it's not working. Anyways,
no, it's all good. It's all good.
You are able to see everything through them.
Yes.
And so if you put them on and you look outside or look in a dim room, you will be able
wearing
to
sunglasses.
see everything. Exactly.
You can still see everything. Yeah.
And in this one's case anyways, I would say it almost is less than sunglasses.
What was the difference in pricing between the fake one and the real one?
So these ones, set of 5 were bought for about $7.
Okay.
And then these ones, the real ones.
That are real. Yeah.
The real ones. I bought those. It was a 12-pack for about $50.
Okay. So much higher price per unit on the actual ones. The idea of you get what you pay for. Yeah.
Yeah. So with these ones, you can already see that there's more of like a silvery sheen on the front. Much higher quality cardboard, not quite as flimsy. And then also there is a QR code on the inside of it so that you're able
only
to
on the real one.
Now, not all of them will have a QR code. This particular brand does, but it also has the exact address, and you can look it up. And so this one's in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So, but
what brand was that, by the way?
Oh, this one is Eclipse.
Oh, Eclipse. Okay, cool. And I know a bunch of people on the team are doing what was it? Is it Celestron or something like that? I think a bunch of people have
There's a huge list, and I would encourage everyone to go and check the list to make sure that they have ones that are on the AAS
on the
list. So
I think is it possible that there's ones that so getting back to the ones that are real, when you look at them, you can't see anything except if you look at a very bright filament of a light, or you look at the sun, then you can see kind of like a little pinhole light, right?
Yes.
Is there fake ones that have that potentially? Do you think?
Not to my maybe.
Okay.
I haven't come across any. It was actually just happenstance that I came across these ones.
I see.
So
yeah. Okay. But yeah, so it's the real ones. Basically, you can see nothing, right?
Don't use it.
Yeah. If you have any doubts, it's okay because it's cloudy outside, so it doesn't matter.
Well, still, even with the clouds.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. That with the clouds, should it? Because it's like complete. Like we can't even. It doesn't even seem like the sun's out right now in Barrie. Like it's just complete clouds. So,
personally,
obviously it's going to get a little dark, maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
I wouldn't chance it. I wouldn't chance looking up trying to find it without the solar eclipse glasses on.
Because UV rays can still go through clouds, right?
Yes.
I see. So obviously it's not going to be as intense as if you were looking at it in a blue sky. Yeah. But it's still not the greatest thing to do. Still there. That's a good point. Yeah, that's fair.
Because you have to think about it kind of like a sunburn. So in the middle of the summer, you're able to go outside, even if it's cloudy, and still come home with a sunburn.
That's right. That's a good point. Yeah.
But you won't feel it. You won't see it for about 12 hours a lot of the time, especially when it's overcast. So
that makes a lot of sense. It's looking pretty cloudy there in Niagara Falls, as you just saw. Brennan brought up the Niagara Falls camera. Still looking pretty cloudy there. Oh, he's doing the refresh right now on the satellite.
Yeah,
I'm in Stratford. Like the satellite is exploding. You're in Stratford?
Yeah, so we're not actually on the path of totality, but we're going to get a good amount of like darkness here. But right now it is actually quite sunny.
Oh, it's quite sunny. Yeah, because somebody said in London as well too that it's quite sunny, and I'm kind of jealous because it's completely overcast here in Barrie. So we'll see if it changes as we get closer to that point in time. So anyway, so back to the glasses that are real. Besides the address and the QR code and the ISO certification and the thickness of the cardboard, the thing that really truly matters is that when you put them up to your eyeballs, you basically can't see anything until you look at a bright light, right?
So I'm going to see if this demonstration will work. I'm actually going to use my cell phone flashlight for this, and I'm hoping that it'll kind of
Come through. Yeah.
come
Yeah.
through. So maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. But even if you don't see it, oh no.
Yeah, the green screen. No, keep it right in front of your face. It might help because the green screen tech you're using is like chopping out everything but your head. So if you keep it right in front of your face, it might work. Let's see.
I can't see.
Is it coming through? I wonder if you flip it around the other way, if it'll work. You could see it coming through that side.
Well, this is good because these are the real ones. But I think you'll be able to see something coming through with the other ones. They're pretty.
Yes. Yeah.
They're.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have a bird?
You can totally see it.
Or is that like a ringtone?
That's actually a clock.
Oh.
It is a clock that my kids really wanted to get. And
so you can have all the annoyance of a bird without actually having a bird. I see. So you get
it's all the birds in
endless
North
chirping.
America. So, but if you look,
okay,
you can see the light coming right through. So
that's a good test. That's actually a pretty good test right there. So that shows you. I mean,
now when from see anything, this one
you couldn't see anything at all. Like even from your own eyes, like looking straight at it, you couldn't see anything from your phone light.
You can see a very, very dim. Like it's practically non-existent. Like you wouldn't know if you didn't know it was on. You'd be like,
you wouldn't even be
happening.
Okay, so basically, if almost no light comes through, then it's probably the real glasses, especially if it has all of the other check marks like the QR code and the thickness of the cardboard and these types of things. But
like literally no light coming through.
Okay, but if there's a bunch of light coming through, and if when you put them on, you basically can see everything in the room, you can see everything outside. Then you should probably avoid those before you melt your retinas permanently.
I would prefer that.
Yeah,
we don't want to see you tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's, that would
but
be
you want
bad,
to see us, so
yeah, exactly. You want to be able to see them, but you don't want them to have to see you. Okay, that makes sense. Exactly. Cool. Yeah, I mean that all makes sense. It's great. And by the way, thank you so much for but sponsoring us. So on a side note, Jennifer has sponsored us for our forecast maps for like the next year. So huge thank you to Jennifer, yay, and to the Ontario Opticians, yay. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you kindly. And
thank you.
And this ends up. I didn't even think about this, and I know you just mentioned it recently, but it's like, oh yeah, what a perfect event to have you come on the live stream and make sure people don't melt their retinas. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, obviously, it's awesome. I mean, I'm glad that I've been able to kind of get the word out there to have people at the very least check and make sure, especially 30 seconds, like not 30 seconds before the event actually happens.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad. Hopefully, everybody in the comments is obviously they're saying wonderful things. Can everybody thank Jennifer for all of her insight and letting us know how not to melt our eyeballs when there's a solar eclipse? And in general, actually, I have some questions about in general sun stuff. If you have a few more minutes to entertain us here.
A few more minutes.
On a side note, hold on, I have to say thank you to Marcia with a super chat. Thank you so much, Marcia. Thank you kindly, and to those who are sending in stars on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. We sincerely appreciate it. So on a regular day, so Huberman, have you watched the Huberman podcast? Andrew Huberman? No, he's a brilliant neuroscientist. Anyways, and he's talked about different stuff about how it's really important to actually get sunshine in your eyes, not necessarily looking directly at the sun, but just I guess to be outside and to be absorbing the sun. And not all the time, of course, because there's negative sides to that. But on a regular day, how bad is it looking at this? Your pupils are already very, very small. So if you were to glance up at the sun, just briefly, obviously it's not the end of the world, but it's like it's the extended looking at the sun that's bad.
Yeah, you never really want to look at the sun because any amount of exposure could cause solar retinopathy, but it's just a little bit more extreme today because people are more inclined to look at the sun.
True.
For extended amount of times. But no, you should definitely not.
Never look at the sun if you can.
Looking at the sun.
We all know, like if you look at the sun, if you had to for some reason glance up, you forgot your sunglasses and you're driving and you're like, and by the end of that drive, you like close your eyes and you can see like where the sun was, right? It's like it's basically a minor version of that, right?
That's a very minor version of it, yeah.
I see.
Makes sense. Yeah, but your body's natural inclination is to close your eyes and look away.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's right.
Like you would really have to force yourself to like stare at the sun. So you'll already be very uncomfortable.
What about looking at the sun with your eyes closed? Because sometimes it's like when it's a nice bright sunny morning, I love like going out and it's like closing my eyes, like letting the sun just like, wash over me and like with my eyes closed, but I always wonder, is it still potentially penetrating? Because supposedly the skin on your eyes is actually the same equivalent to foreskin, so it's not that thick, right? It's like this like thin skin. That's kind of a disgusting thing. Sorry to bring that up, but supposedly it's the same type of skin. But I don't know how good that skin in particular is at blocking UV rays and that type of thing. So is it potentially still harmful to look through your eyelids, or is it not? Is it? Yeah.
I don't know if I can
recommend
doing that either.
Okay, I see. So basically,
but
don't stare at the sun.
Natural light is important,
of course,
for vitamin D and for and actually being able to see further distances and that sort of thing. So I mean, that there is a reason why people are why you want to have children run around outside and play, is because they need that light so that they can see further. And so it's it's still a very necessary thing. It's just staring at the sun, whether your eyes are closed or not, I don't think would be a great idea.
Yeah, it makes sense. Chimney Man says, "Don't let the sun through the foreskin." You heard it here first, folks. Sweet Lord. Anyways, so it's okay. So don't stare at the sun in general. Is there a particular type of sunglasses that's good? Is there like a particular UV rating that's good? Because I usually just get the cheapo Zares, $20 ones or whatever. I don't splurge on anything too. And they all have some sort of UV rating on them. Is there, obviously some are superior to others?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what you'll want to do, a lot of the time you'll want to go and look for a a polarized lens, depending on what you do. I mean, if you're a pilot, no polarized lenses for you.
Yes.
But you want to look for UV 400.
Okay. So 400 is a good. Is that the minimum, or is that just the best?
That is the one that you want.
Okay, you want 400.
I would say minimum. Yeah. Personally, I would say minimum because I'm an optician, but
yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've seen UV 100 and stuff before, or UV 200, but UV 400 is the solid one. And there's ones where when you look at your cell phone, it all looks really weird, all purpley, and there's and then those are probably polarized, right?
Polarized, yeah. Okay. So there's a polarizing screen on your phone as well, and so.
When you put the two together,
computer screens and LED screens. So, so you're going to get that kind of distortion when you're looking at your phone.
Okay. Yeah, but that would probably be now. Typically, the polarized ones, are they 400 usually? Maybe.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So it's a little different because it's actually set up more like a blind. So, the blinds that you would have where you pull them down and they kind of shift down and up. So that's what it's really doing there. So
I see. So it maybe even is superior to a non-polarized lens that just happens to have some UV coating on it. So is the polarized the most superior, maybe?
It depends on what you're doing, and that's really something you'd have to talk to your optician about. So there's not one definitive answer for this. So
yes, but 400 is a good thing to aim for.
Yes, yeah.
Now, is there a crappy 400 from the cheap glasses and a good 400 from the expensive glasses, or usually if they say 400, they're okay?
The thing is, we should investigate this. Counterfeit ones.
Aha.
So it could say 400 on it, but you're better off to go to a reputable source to buy them, rather than just finding them beside a cash register.
So at the dollar store or something. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So okay, so that's good to know. We should actually, these are questions I've never had before until I realized that I have them now. So we should probably dive deeper into this and try to figure out. Maybe we can bring you on for another segment on a different live stream where we compare glasses and maybe try to figure out which ones are the good ones or something like that. That would be cool. So that would be fun.
That sounds good.
Is anybody in the comments? But there's so many wonderful people on this live stream. There's 14,000 people on the live stream right now. Is anybody in the comments have any questions for Jennifer? Maybe that that you could let us know. If you do, if not, that's all good. And I'm trying to think any other.
If you have any after the fact, Adam can always send them my way, and I can try to answer them. So.
For some reason, we said be careful testing your glasses with a flashlight. A strong one can melt the film. Oh, I see. So maybe only use an LED light on your phone. Don't use don't use the plastic old.
No.
Yeah. a super old, super hot, and yeah, exactly. Maybe don't use a flashlight for that. Use the LED on your phone. I think it's probably a good test because I don't think it gets warm or that warm. Yeah. How are pets affected is a good question from. Hold on, let me try to click this. It's so hard to click comments. They go so fast. Okay. How are pets affected? I've heard that pets don't even like care about the sun. They don't even realize the sky's there. They don't look up usually. They're not paying attention.
They don't naturally. They're not inclined to just stare up at the sun.
I see.
Their instincts will tell them no.
Yeah, and if it gets dark, they'll maybe be weirded
out. But I
out.
mean, if you are really concerned, there's nothing wrong with keeping them indoors.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And it looks like in the background, we brought up from our Ontario Storm Reports page, Kayla has Eclipse in Kitchener already starting, taken with the iPhone through Eclipse glasses. Cool. You can already see the moon starting to get in front of the sun there, which is pretty sweet. That's great. And yeah, I think I've heard that because it's dangerous to your phone camera as well too, or cameras in general. But if you have the proper solar eclipse glasses, you can actually put them in front of the camera, and that's a reasonable way to protect your camera from it. Yep. So it's equivalent to a solar filter on a proper like DSLR Pro camera, right?
So from what I understand, it's not necessarily the camera itself; it's the sensors within the phone.
I see. Yeah. Oh, you're melting the sensor. Same way that you're melting your retina. As opposed to doesn't matter about the film. So what are the different parts of the eye? Can you cover those? Can you pull out your old school textbooks actually and go through?
I could go over all those things, but I think people would get really bored and then they'd turn off.
Yeah, that's fair. We're gonna lose everybody if we start going through rods and cones. And yeah, exactly. So no, that's all good. Anyways, but let me see if there's any more questions. And then let's see. I think we've probably taken up enough of your time. I know you want to go out and actually see this. So
I do. I do.
Yeah, you're excited about it. Cool. All right. So you've got your glasses and you're gonna go check it out. Can you please let us know how it was in Stratford?
Absolutely. I'll take a picture with my phone. With my solar glasses over the phone.
Through the solar glasses. That's right. Yes. Okay, good. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Everybody say thank you to Jennifer Wicks, Executive Director of Ontario Opticians, coming in and telling us all not to burn our retinas out. So it's I think it's advice we should heed. It's not she can't tell me what to do. I'm going to go melt my eyeballs. If you're that person, then, so be it. But if you're the rest of us who don't want to melt our eyeballs, then, obviously use protection. So it's appreciated. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you kindly. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was cool. Somebody with good knowledge actually helping us not melt our eyeballs. That's great. That's fantastic. And now back to me.
We're interested because our viewership has only continued to increase.
It did increase. As soon as she leaves, everybody's going to go. They're like, Jennifer's gone, and now we don't know what to do with our eyeballs, and everyone's going to go, and these things happen. It's okay. So now back to me. I have
instant eyeballs.
instant eye care.
Eyesight.
We try to put instant in the front of anything. So look at these images in the background. I mean, we've been talking to Jennifer and haven't really talked about what's going on here, but this is pretty cool. This is the stream from NOAA?
Yeah, this is Dallas, Texas.
Whoa. Aren't they getting crazy storms down there right now? I'm going to go check radar. Hold on.
I think it was to the southeast. Like towards Houston and Galveston.
Oh, okay. So is that Fort Worth or is that actually Dallas proper?
I have no clue. It just is Dallas.
Oh yeah, the storms are way to the southeast. They're like down by Houston right now, so they'll probably develop through the afternoon. But that's interesting. So interesting. This is pretty cool.
We'll take a look at the satellite, how it's progressed. I'm just gonna update here.
Yeah. Which satellite is this? Goes east, I think.
Yes.
This goes east. Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
I'll give it a minute. Oh, here it comes.
Ooh. Whoa! It's almost like when you see the satellite animation, like when we're looking at models and stuff, and you see or we're looking at and you see everything go dark, like it's nighttime. It's literally, I mean, look how dark it's going across North America. That's fantastic. That's pretty wild. So I think everybody's going to see quite a dip in brightness,
and we'll
be
even able to see it on the satellite here once this is just not animated, it's just raw. But
yeah, somebody just said it was raining in Barrie. Stacy says raining now in Barrie. I'm looking at radar and I'm seeing almost I'm just seeing speckles, basically nothing. So it's
Might be
probably,
drizzle.
like on a cloudy day when you just get the tiny little sprinkle and then it goes away. It's probably just that. I don't think it's going to be.
Although
pouring or
the
anything
good
like that.
news is you can kind of see the clouds breaking Hamilton, Niagara Falls. We'll take a
Yeah.
look at. Let me pull up the Niagara Falls camera here.
If Ryan says it's not raining in Barrie. So that's the cool thing about weather is that one side, like the north side of Barrie, can be like a total blizzard at times, and then the south end of Barrie is like tropical paradise. So Barrie's a pretty large area, and individual spots can get different weather conditions. So
you can see
that's
that
like
people are lining up in Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah, they're starting to pile out there. So
A lot less than I was expecting, though.
Is this is real time? That boat is moving. What's it called again?
this is
The Maid of the Mist, I think it was.
Oh, you're talking.
I'm talking about the Maid of the Mist. It looks like it's flying. If this is real time, it is moving.
This is
I didn't know it could that far.
241.
I've only been on it once, but it was pretty cool.
I've
The
never
Maid of the
been
Mist
on
there
it.
is pretty wild.
I don't like getting
Oh, you've
wet
never
like
on it?
that.
You have to wear like basically like a garbage bag kind of thing over you, but it's pretty wild. The mist is wild. It's pretty wild out there. So let's see here. Sun just peeked out in Georgina, says Christine. So that's cool.
Yeah,
is it sunny out where you are?
Little pockets.
Natalia says totality. Where? Look at that. Oh, that's amazing. And where's that right now? Oh, that's Dallas, Texas.
Dallas.
Whoa, that is wild. That is wild. Now, that's pure totality right there. Yeah. So I wonder. Now we don't have Jennifer on the stream, but I could ask her in our chat. Is they say you can take off the solar glasses during totality if you're in the path of totality.
That's correct.
But then I see like videos of it, and there's like a bright ring around the edge of the moon. That's fine. Did that affect you at all? Or that's fine?
The corona.
All right.
Corona.
That's the corona. Yeah. I'm going to ask her in our chat and say, is it okay? Now I've heard a million times that it's okay, but I'll get her opinion. Is it okay to take off the glasses during true totality? And we'll see what she says on that one. So,
because what I've heard is you wouldn't even be able to see anything once the moon goes over the sun if you're wearing the glasses. So it's kind of pointless.
You basically see nothing, right? On. Yeah. Oh, she saw it. She's answering. We're not leaving her alone until we have all questions answered. Very informative, though. She knew her stuff. It's great, and it's good I didn't know about the UV 400 on sunglasses. I'm gonna look for those from now on. So that's good to know because I usually end up getting the cheap sunglasses that basically probably do nothing and probably horrifying for me.
And
I mean, it looks dark when I look through them, so I think that's okay. But let's see here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I have CNN in the background, and they like have people on the ground, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like it's
that's actually pretty amazing.
Dark.
So when are we going to talk about the storm risk tomorrow? Jennifer says yes, but the glasses must go back on before the ending of totality. So I think isn't there a few different apps you can get that'll tell you like if it'll know your GPS location, it'll tell you exactly when it's going to start and stop, kind of thing.
Time and date is the best. That's what I'm using for the map. They will
time and date.
Like,
is that the website or the app?
Timeanddate.com. They have an app.
Cool. Yeah.
But they'll take your actual GPS location and give it down to the second. But even then, I've heard that the track can be off a bit.
Yeah, we were hearing about that last night, right?
Might not be perfect.
Yeah, they say it could be off by 1,000 feet or something.
What I've heard is once you see the peak of sun, like once you see it, you should put your glasses back on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Brennan, I think we're at an all-time record for our live stream, and we're not even streaming anything to do with weather. I mean, I guess it's kind of related to weather. It's related to weather enough that we're covering it, right? But we're at 15,500 people in total on our live stream. Hi, everybody. Sorry, Brennan, you mumbled what the ACC capacity was. What was it again?
Yeah, that was 19,000. So we're getting there.
Oh, okay. We're 4,000 short of the ACC capacity. Basically, if you fill the ACC minus 4,000 people, then look at this video. That's pretty wild. So now I guess totality is over in Dallas. And now
So
it's,
this is when
yeah.
they put the glasses back on. So you can
Oh,
see
hence
them
they're putting
putting
the
it
solar
on.
filter back on. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Wow. That is pretty wild. I see. So now they have the filter on, so now you're going to see this little sliver grow as the moon starts to shift in Dallas. Wow, that's amazing. That's pretty cool. Beth says you. She says you didn't get this many viewers during the Duratio. We didn't go live during the Duratio. The ratio was not predicted. I mean, basically the day before I said we could have. The day before was a significant risk, and it ended up being pretty much a bust. I think, Brennan. The day before ended up being not what it was supposed to be, and then it was the
I'm
next
not the
morning
person
the
you should be
Duratio happened.
asking for my memory.
Okay, that's fine. I remember these things. But so what happened was I did say in the forecast the day before, I said the next morning we could see some really strong storms, and I believe I said down by Niagara, kind of southwestern Ontario, because I did see hints of it on the models, but the models were nowhere close. And then all of a sudden at like 11, 12 a.m., this storm just exploded in energy. And I mean, it's the most significant storm in our history. I was so upset that we weren't live. And then what happened was I was actually traveling further up north, and I was traveling to an area where there was like no cell phone coverage. So I don't think we had it set up at the time where the other team members could go live. It was basically dependent on me, and I was up in the middle of nowhere with horrible cell phone coverage. So we did cover that event in very good detail with notifications and coverage and reports and all that kind of stuff. So we covered it to a T. We just didn't go live for that one. So and that was a horrifying event. Rest in peace to all those who lost their lives. There was 11 fatalities originally, and Dr. Sills just let me know that he thinks the coroner is going to confirm 4 more fatalities from that day. So there was more fatalities that day than there was in 1985 when we had 3 monster tornadoes on the ground. So Barrie had 8 fatalities. There was another 4 from the Grand Bend tornado. So that day was 12, but the Duratio was basically right through the most populated path of Canada, which is right through the GTA, right through up to Ottawa. So that's just the most populated corridor of Canada, and there ended up being probably 15 fatalities that day. So it was horrifying. Anyway, so our thoughts are with those who lost family members that day and friends. That was a brutal day. Anyways, but yeah, so we weren't live for that one. But we were live. I think one of the September 5th events was our largest live stream. But yeah, this live stream has now destroyed all previous live streams. So
wasn't our biggest one during the Barrie tornado, I want to say?
It was one of them. The tornado in 2021. It was one of the biggest live streams. But I think there was a different event that we ended up hitting 11. I remember 11,000 concurrent being the biggest ever. And now we're at 15 and 339, which is wild. So anyways, so hi, all 15,000 of you. It's nice to see you. And this is 15,000 per second. So there's like thousands of people joining the stream and then hearing me talk and being like, what are we here for? And they leave the stream. And then, so this is constantly happening, but the concurrent total of how many people are actually hanging around is like 15.5 thousand, which is wild. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Brendan's got all of the, look at that satellite view. It's, I mean, should be getting darker now, probably. If based on this satellite view, it should be getting darker probably in Ontario, I would think. It's just, you can see that darkness heading up towards, and
totality is over Arkansas at the moment. We're expecting totality around, I think it was like 3:14 is the earliest in Leamington. So we're about 20-ish, 30 minutes away. So we're getting fast.
Yeah, that's a quick event. So
it's going to be over in 15 minutes from totality entering Leamington to exiting in Cornwall. It'll be about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Lindsay said that the background images are getting super low res on the stream. I don't think there's much we can do about that. I think that's StreamYard's buffering potentially. Brennan, are you on Wi-Fi or are you Ethernet cable right to your Mac?
Wi-Fi. But it looks clear.
You should Ethernet. Oh, it looks clear. Well, it's going to look clear to you, but I can see it. It looks fuzzy to me. So, am I fuzzy? TV. Adam himself is fine. Everything else is getting pixelated. Oh, maybe that's depending on where you're watching. So you're watching the YouTube stream on your TV and it looks clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's ask in the Oh, this is off top question. Steve says, off top question. When is the app getting dark mode or Eclipse mode? Dark mode is one of those things that everybody's requested and it's on the giant to-do list and it will happen. We'd love for it to happen this year. That would be great. We haven't been live in a while, so there's so many things we haven't talked about. So Instant Weather Pro will be coming to the mobile app. We've been testing it. It's working great. And so that's going to be coming to the mobile app this summer. So that's really exciting. And yeah, there's lots of wild stuff. We rebranded Weatherverse. Now it's Virtue Weather. So we decided to take virtual weather and smush it together into one word. So our 3D Weatherverse. Oh, it would have been super cool if we had done the solar eclipse in the 3D Weatherverse thing, if we had done it in Virtue Weather. But oh well, maybe next time. 2099, we'll do it then. Anyways, so let's see here. I'll be 116, I think, at that point. Let's see here. Holly says everything but Adam is fuzzy on YouTube. I see.
It's weird.
On a desktop computer, Ethernet, not Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's all fuzzy for me too. It's odd.
Let me see.
Yeah,
if
your
I
stream's
can...
coming through fuzzy. I don't know if there's much you can. What did you do?
I just switched the definition, so it's kind of a little less intense. I don't know.
Oh, you brought down the definition? Did you have it at HD?
Mm-hmm. And I brought it up again.
At full 1080p? Yeah, I mean, it should be fine. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but these things happen. It's all good. I mean, I feel like it's gone back and forth. It was fuzzy, and then it went back, and then it was fuzzy. I don't know if maybe you want to make me full screen, drop out, refresh your browser, and come back in. Instead, there we go. Okay. Hi, I am the solar eclipse. I have nothing. These are the jokes, folks. I have nothing. So, side note, I'm eating some eclipse nuts right now. I've got those going. I know people appreciate when during our live streams. Normally, we're covering like tornado events and damaging wind gusts and all that kind of stuff. And usually during that is when I'm eating my storm nuts and tracking radar closely. So, by the way, I still want to talk about tomorrow. So, I know we have folks joining us from across Canada, but for Southern Ontario in particular, there is a storm risk tomorrow, and there is some tornado risk actually. So, this basically increased drastically over the past day or so, and so the models actually look pretty intense right now. So. Probably a slight risk, not some extreme risk or anything like that, but there was a slight risk, and there were some potent storms, potentially near Georgian Bay, moving northeast, maybe up near Petawawa and Deep River. So we're going to be seeing some interesting storms, and there is a chance in southwestern Ontario. Southwestern Ontario could be a bust, aka no storm. Oh, that looks way better. That's great. So it could be a bust in southwestern Ontario, or it could be intense. So we're going to see what happens there as well. Yeah, so it looked good for a second, Brennan, and now it is fuzzy again. So, it's okay. Still fuzzy.
Blame Rogers.
Oh, Lindsay says the sun is about 50% covered in Chatham right now. Oh, interesting. I wonder if, now that you say that, though, I wonder if that's, oh, now it's clear. It's clear. Hooray. Is it clear for everybody? Looks clear for me. It's clear. Patricia's typing. She says, way fuzzy. Teresa still fuzzy. Teresa says, yes, clear. Yeah. All right. Nice. Cool. Less blurry. Hooray. Yeah, so if that happens, we'll just refresh and come back. It's probably like a browser buffering thing or something like that. But now it looks super clear, so that's great. Awesome. Cool. All right. So where is that? Oh, that's Arkansas. Russellville, Arkansas is in totality at the moment. That satellite image is wild. Oh, you can see it start to brighten up though at the very bottom left. So if you can see it's that kind of dark shadow, and then if you look down towards Mexico again, you can see it's starting to brighten up again. So it's really creating quite a shadow over North America, even though it's only creating like the absolute true totality perfect shadow over that exact path that goes from eventually Leamington through Niagara all the way up to Cornwall, I believe is in totality. and then Quebec, and then eventually New Brunswick. It goes straight through the middle of New Brunswick. So that should be interesting. That should be pretty wild for the folks out there. Let's see here. Very cloudy in Midland. Yeah, it's still pretty cloudy here in Barrie. So I don't know if it's going to be a great show. But as we heard from Jennifer, you probably still want to wear eye protection if you are if it is cloudy. So. Now, what I didn't ask her should you wear the extreme looking directly at the sun solar glasses during cloudiness, or should you just at least have a UV 400? So I'm not sure about that. Maybe I should ask her that to clarify. But anyways, long story short, she's the executive director of the Ontario Opticians, and she really wants everybody to protect their eyes because, these are the type of events where people say, oh, I can just look up at it, and they melt their eyeballs. And then you don't even know that you've melted your eyeballs for about 12 hours until you have a permanent black spot in the middle of your eyes, and then there's nothing you can do about it. It literally melts your retina. So that's not good. That would be bad. Oh, it's already almost full totality in Illinois, in Carbondale, Illinois. So, whoa, it's moving quick. Jan says white spot. Okay, white spot, dark spot. It's a spot. You don't want a melted spot in the middle of your eyes, whatever color it happens, or whatever shade it happens to be. You definitely don't want that. So let's see here. Penny says, only a partial here in Colorado, but was still cool. Cool. Joining us from Colorado. Where's everybody joining us from, by the way? Oh, so cloudy in Windsor, super cloudy in Niagara, sad face. That's painful. I know a lot of folks have booked hotels in Niagara. We heard, I think, from our team member Liam, he said they were talking about, because he's a paramedic, and he says their team and their meetings were talking about that it's possible that there could be a 15-hour drive after the totality from Niagara Falls back to Toronto, which is normally like what, an hour drive? And they're expecting that drive to be 15 hours long. So if your plan is to like leave Niagara Falls as soon as it's over and try to head up the 401, the 403, and then the 401, and then maybe the 400, maybe like eat some lunch first or something. I don't know.
It's
I know
also
it's late
bad
for lunch.
because the Jays home opener is tonight too in Toronto.
Oh man. Okay, so it's going to be a total cluster. All right, so I would try to delay your travel as much as possible. So don't try to like, I'm going to beat the crowd out the door. You know,
I don't even think hotel prices are that expensive anymore. I was looking yesterday and they were down to like $200.
Like a couple $100. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think the smart thing wouldn't be get the hotel beforehand. I think the smart thing would be get the hotel for after the fact so that you don't have to travel right after it. Everybody else traveling, it's going to be bananas. So everybody's telling me where they're coming from here. Midland, Innisfil, Cornwall, Sudbury, St. Catharines, Peterborough, Winnipeg for Kelly. Let's see what else here. Orangeville, Barrie, Sarnia, Kitchener, Quebec, Nova Scotia, clear from South Shore of Nova Scotia. That's cool. Nice. Let's see here. Borden, Saskatchewan, or Saskatchewan, as I've been told you're supposed to pronounce it. Saskatchewan. We're up to 16,207 people on the live stream, which is preposterous. It is our largest live stream ever, and it is not necessarily a weather event. So from now on, we're just going to stream things that aren't weather. No. Usually we only go live for... Yeah, it sounds like a horrifying idea. Usually we only go live when it's like a tornado risk or a severe thunderstorm risk. And then in the winter, of course, if it's, like a big blizzard or something to that extent, that's usually when we go live. But we've talked about the idea of like a 24-hour live stream. Not necessarily with, a human on there the whole time, but kind of like maybe like this kind of setup with weather. And then we pop in and out when need be, or we cut into like a forecast video when need be. We've talked about that stuff. We've gone down that path a few times, but look, you can look at Mexico and like California. You can see it's getting bright again. So really, I mean, it's still kind of bright outside in Barrie, but it's definitely getting darker on the satellite, and it's probably going to get a lot darker as we get closer to totality. So. Brennan, do you mind checking for me what time Barrie exactly is at its absolute apex? Was it like 3:20 something?
Something.
Do you
like
have that app? I don't have the app. It's 3:00 exactly, folks. I think did everybody get a PA day today? We did. We've got a PA day. I think it's probably a good idea to keep the kids home. Jennifer says 3:19 in Barrie. Everybody's helped me out here. 3:20 for Peterborough. Hamilton is still light. Yeah, it's starting to be getting darker now in Ontario. Let's see here. 323 for Barrie, says Rhonda. I'm getting a lot of conflicting. 317 for London, says Brenda. Barrie is 319, says Living April. All right, so probably somewhere between 319 and 320 something.
Yeah,
So at that point in time, I
usually,
might head outside.
315 to 330-ish. Between that time is when totality is happening.
I see. So I'm not, obviously we're not, I can barely even see the sun out there, and that's going to become less and less as time
It's
goes on.
cloudy here.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll take a look at the clouds in Ontario right now. I'll bring up the satellite map.
It looks like it's really clearing out in the south
It
and
is.
southwestern Ontario.
In
Wow.
Hamilton,
So how
Niagara
perfect
Falls
is that?
may luck out.
It's so close to clearing out. Like if you're at Leamington, if you're St. Thomas area. I don't know if St. Thomas is in the totality. It's close though, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. All right. So basically, yeah, if you're Leamington up to the Lake Erie shoreline, all the way to Niagara Falls, it is slowly clearing out. And I know Alana on our team, she went out east, and it looks like out east is actually filling in as opposed to clearing out. So
although I think it's high level cloud.
Oh, okay.
So she should be able to still see some of it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully it's nice and thin and she can still see. Yes. Mandy says, I'm close, but no 100%, like 99.6 here. Yeah, so we've heard that the difference between like 99.6 and 100% totality is night and day. And like literally night and day. It's the difference between you can still see some brightness, it's still kind of bright out, to everything around you gets dark. So it's quite a difference between the true totality and not. But yeah, this is pretty wild. And that's interesting. So it looks like it's perfectly clear in southwestern Ontario, because folks in London and Jennifer in Stratford are saying that it's totally clear. So like from Windsor right now to about almost Hamilton. So Burlington might actually clear out. So they might actually get true totality down there, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, that's pretty exciting stuff.
And
but Barrie's going to be
Pembroke at the moment on Ontario Storm Reports.
Whoa, that's from Pembroke? Whoa, look at this incredible picture from Trevor Mills. An incredible photo of partial coverage there. Wow, above my head. I'm creating a bit of an eclipse on the eclipse with my.
You're eclipsing
my rectangle. Eclipse. I'm eclipsing the eclipse. That's right. 16.7K. Wow. Hey, while we all have you here, have you downloaded our free app yet? Maybe you haven't. If you haven't, I'll put up the link for it here. So download our free app, instantweatherapp.com. Android, Apple, available for both. We will be launching the web version probably later this year. So then if you want to use it on your computer, you can as well. But yeah, it's free. Head over to instantweatherapp.com, download our free app. We do some pretty interesting stuff if you aren't familiar with our app. When we see a rotating storm, like we're probably going to see tomorrow in southern Ontario, when we see rotation, we draw a tiny little polygon around the storm, and we build a track with it, and we send out instant notifications. So instant updates saying, rotation detected, which could potentially mean large hail, it could potentially mean tornado. And so we send out those notifications very proactively. And if you've received, in the comments, if you've ever received one of our rotation notifications, let us know in the comments if they've helped you. We've been very, very proactive with them. And let's see, Sarah says, this app is the absolute best. I always recommend to everyone. Thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Chantel says, been downloaded even before the Duratio. Thank you kindly. Let's see here. Person in the mirror on Twitch says, I sure do have the free app. I've also subscribed to your text notification service. Love them both. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Catherine says, will Ottawa get to see a total eclipse? I don't think so. I think Cornwall is in the path of totality, but I think Ottawa is north of the path. You're going to see most of it. Like we're so close to it. Even in Barrie here, like, we're so close to it. Oh, Brennan's got the path right there. So if we shimmy my head over here, maybe. Oh, whoopsie. What have I done, Brennan? No. There we go. Just take me out. That's right. So there's the true path. So as you can see, Leamington starts at 313, ends at 315. If you go all the way up to St. Thomas, it's 316 to 317.48. Norfolk is going to be 316 to 319. And Niagara Falls is going to be 3 18 to 321. So, yeah, as we get into the east, yeah, so Ottawa will not be in the path, but Belleville is in the true path. The closer you are to the edge of the totality path, the quicker, because of course the moon is round, the quicker you're kind of on the edge there, you're going to get a much quicker totality. Whereas the closer you are to the center of the totality, which you can't really be other than Niagara Falls, maybe Long Point. Long Point's actually probably one of the best places to be right now. If you're in those places, then you have a much better chance of having a lengthy totality. But as we get up to
National Geographic declared Niagara Falls is the best place to experience the eclipse because it's right in the middle.
Did they forget the weather?
They did that a while ago.
Yeah, I know they can't predict the weather, but and again, hopefully it clears out because, like you said, we were showing on the satellite. It looks like it could maybe just in time, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. Oh, there are some breaks in the cloud. No way. No way. Can you imagine Niagara? Yeah, take a look at the Niagara cam there. I think it's so close. So very close. I still do want to take a look. Sarah says 99% in Ottawa. Yeah, so it's going to be a 99% coverage. So it won't be true totality. Definitely wear your solar eclipse glasses, please. And hopefully you have the legitimate ones. If you look through your solar eclipse glasses and you can see everything, then they're fake. If you look through them and you can basically see nothing except when you look at a very bright light or except when you look at the sun, then they're probably legit. So those are important things to consider. Brendan, we're at 17.1K. Ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
And we have totality in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, cool.
Bring that up here.
Perfect. Where did I go? Am I gone? Did you take me off the stream forever?
I can bring you back up. There you go.
Oh, there. Hey, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. Anyways, so, by the way, I'm not drinking coffee. I am drinking tea, though, but not any tea with caffeine, because as I mentioned before, it gives me heartburn. But I'm drinking some sort of herbal tea, and it's delicious. Chamomile, I think.
I'm drinking water, can you believe it?
Water is good for you. I drink a lot of water. It's fantastic. I think we're like 90% water, by the way. Yeah, Indianapolis at totality, says Marilyn. Thank you very much. We have a question. What time in Tofield, Alberta? So Alberta is only at what? Do you remember what percentage it was? I know you showed the maps from across Canada. Alberta's going to be only a low percentage of coverage. I think probably now would be the best time in Alberta. Yeah. So southeastern Alberta, like Medicine Hat, is only be 30%. Only 30% of the sun will be covered by the moon. So if it's clear there right now, I'm not sure what the cloud cover is there right now, but we could probably bring up satellite to see. But yeah, so if you're in Edmonton, if you're in Calgary, you're only going to get 20% coverage. And then if you're at Grand Prairie, you're only going to get, yeah, so it's mostly going to be clear. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if now's probably the best time. Make sure you use your solar eclipse glasses. And again, I hope that they are legitimate ones. So again, if you look through them, just like Jennifer from Ontario Opticians came and talked to us, if you look through your solar glasses and you put them on and you can see everything, it just looks like you're looking through sunglasses, then they're fake. If you look through them and it's like, I can't see anything at all, it's totally blacked out, except when you look at the sun or you look at a very bright light, you can see like a little glimpse of the filament, then they're probably legitimate. So if you look through them and you can see everything, those are garbage. So definitely don't use those. Let's see here. Emily says, are my eyes safe with the blinds closed? Yeah, if you're not looking at the sun, you're fine. Yeah, don't like look through the blinds at the sun. But just don't look at the sun. If you're not looking at the sun,
really close to totality in southwestern Ontario. We're moments away.
That's right. Oh, this is so cool. This is great. Let's see here. Oh, Alana can see the sun from where she is. I don't know, where was she again? Did she go up to Brockville? I think she went to Brockville. So she can see the sun. So, all right. I mean, there's cloud cover there, but she can see the sun. So that's cool. But definitely use protection, folks, if you are planning on looking at this at all. Definitely. And the only safe time to take the glasses off is if you are in the true path of totality. So if you think, oh, we're at 99.6%, I'll take my glasses. No, don't. You have to literally be in the path of totality, and there's only a very Very perfect time to do that. Here's a question. Barb says they say a welding mask will work. I've heard it won't. It depends on which type of welding mask,
It
but I've heard it.
depends. There's
Yeah.
welding glass that apparently does work, but it's a special type. It's not like standard. So it's not worth risking it.
Yeah,
when
I
you
wouldn't
can
just
get
go put on
glasses.
your generic welding glasses and assume it's going to be fine. I mean, you could have spent the $7 to buy the proper glasses. And if you didn't, then then definitely don't look at the sun. And you're good. If you don't look at the sun, you're fine. Just look at the ground and watch it get dark. Oh, it's getting a lot darker here in Barrie. It is definitely getting darker here in Barrie.
Yeah, it's the same thing here.
As the is this the most updated? That can't be the most
Just
updated
dimming. This is
satellite
live.
feed.
Oh, this is it. Probably low.
There we go. There we go. And it was animating. Okay, yeah, it's getting super dark over Ontario. Cool. We're at 18,000 people on the stream. This is ridiculous, but it is getting super dark outside. And it's 3:11 right now. All right, I think I'm gonna run outside with my son and try to get the best view we possibly can here. We're still gonna wear our solar
Yeah, I think I'm
Eclipse
gonna
glasses.
do the same. So we'll just mute the stream and we'll have the live view here, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay,
So
we're all gonna watch
totality.
it. Joy totality, everyone. All 18,000 of you watching the live stream. We appreciate you following. We'll be right back as soon as probably within the next 10 minutes or something like that. Yeah, we'll be back in 10 minutes. But if you are if you're in Canada, especially if you're in Ontario, now's pretty much the time. So go outside, do it safely, use your solar eclipse glasses. Oh, it's in Cleveland, Ohio, and now's the time. All right, we'll be right back. Brendan, you want to throw on some music for the stream while we're? Yeah, perfect, cool. All right, I'm gonna go take a look. I think now's the time, folks. Now is the time. So do it safely. Please make sure you use the proper solar protection, and we will be back shortly. All right. And we're back. It got pretty dark and pretty cold in Barrie. What did you experience? Let me know. Dark in Barrie and lots of clouds, but it was pretty wild. Wild. Let's see here. The street lights are on. Yeah, we have like these lights that come on when it gets dark enough, and they all came on. And it's cold. It says it's like 14 outside, but it's like cold. It is not 14.
It's
definitely colder
right now.
Is it? Yeah.
It's cloudy in Toronto, but like that's actually helped a bit.
What's with this camera from Niagara Falls? It doesn't look like it's like no. I just randomly saw like a clip of Niagara Falls, and it was like it looked way darker. Maybe this is a camera that like brightens up as things get dark. Maybe it's possible.
Yeah, because I'm watching it on CNN right now, and it's like pitch dark there.
It's like pitch dark. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, it looks like totality happened. Did you enjoy that? Let me know in the comments.
Tower is lit up here.
Oh, really? It lit up like it's nighttime? Yeah. Wow. Looks like it's just passing you now, though. So it's heading up towards Belleville. Kingston is next, then Brockville. And yeah, that was pretty wild for sure. That's pretty wild. What did you experience in Southwestern Ontario? Was it pretty impressive or what? Yeah, it got really dark there, and it looks like in Toronto. But I'm sure it got ridiculously dark if you're actually in the path of totality. I'm sure it's like they literally say it's night and day.
Picture from I would say it's pretty good here too. But here's from Lindsay.
Wow.
Chatham.
Oh, from our Lindsay.
Yeah, in Chatham.
Cool, from Chatham. Look at that. That's incredible. Wow. Jennifer says it's dark in Barrie, but not like night. No, that's the thing. Again, if you're not in the true path of totality, then you don't get to experience the true, nighttime in the middle of the day thing. So now there's other times where you get nighttime in the middle of the day. One of them was the they call Black Friday, was May 31st, 1985. There was so much strong cloud cover that they say in Barrie, it actually seemed like it was darker than nighttime. So, nighttime could be kind of bright because you have like the moon, but it was the absolute true pitch black when that storm rolled into Barrie. That's why they call it Black Friday. It was just absolute darkness. I think the same thing happened. If you remember that video we posted a long time ago from the, was it the CTV tower cam during the Angus/Barrie tornado, which was, what was that again? It was June 17th, 2014. During that one, it got so dark on the webcam that you could see like the streetlights kind of came on. It was just the same thing, just absolutely black. But that's a different situation. That's not like, yay, it's so Eclipse. It's like, oh, it's so dark outside, we need to go to the basement. It's getting intense. So that's a different situation. But we still need to talk about, let's see here. We still need to talk about the storm risk for tomorrow. So for a big swath of southern Ontario, looks like we could have some pretty strong storms. They will be quite isolated. It is possible they'll be like Georgian Bay and to the northeast towards Pembroke, but there is some chance that southwestern Ontario is seeing some isolated pop-ups. And if they do, they look pretty intense. So severe thunderstorm risk tomorrow. Here we go. This kind of the start of the season. Like we did have some events in February, but those are pretty unprecedented. And they're very isolated to deep southwestern Ontario. But yeah, this is kind of like the first, I'd say this is the first widespread potential for severe thunderstorms tomorrow in southwestern Ontario. In southern Ontario. So
I just
mainly central.
Now and it's just like bright out again.
Is it bright out again? It's still quite dark in Barrie. Yeah, it's still quite dark out there, but I'm sure it'll brighten up pretty soon. But yeah, that was something else. That was pretty interesting for sure. Let's see here. Let's see. It's going through the comments. Everybody experiencing something different. Some people are saying it was anticlimactic. Some people are saying it was incredible. Totality. Nice. Oh, it's wonderful experiences altogether. And to hear the experience of all different folks from different areas is awesome. So, Ginny says, OMG, the full cover was so beautiful. Cool. I'm jealous because I'm in Barrie. Missed it. Family of mine, my brother headed down to, I think he was in Burlington, and they said it actually cleared out just before the
I
totality, so they got
considered
to
going
see.
to Burlington, but I was like, I'm not taking the GO train.
I've heard it's slam packed. It's gonna be
Oh, I saw
bananas. Yeah,
pictures and it was just like people were packed in there like sardines, and this was like,
yeah,
no, that does
uh,
not interest me. And
not
I
very
will say
appealing.
it was actually very impressive in Toronto because we were still cloudy, but that
Yeah,
actually made it even darker.
and you were pretty close. You were pretty close. Barry's getting brighter now. Yeah, it's starting to brighten up a little bit out there. Still so cloudy though. Holy. Um, Kate says, just wanted to also mention a thing I love about instant weather. Send me notifications on strong northern lights. I wouldn't have known otherwise. Definitely wouldn't get this kind of info from any other weather app. I'm so excited for the Pro app to come out. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So the Pro app does exist on computer. So if you go to instantweatherpro.com, you can subscribe for computer. But it's actually coming to the mobile app too. So if you subscribe to the computer version, you'll get the mobile version. If you subscribe to the mobile version, you'll get access to the computer version. So yeah, so it's pretty exciting though. But Instant Weather Pros, we'll be using it tomorrow on the live stream for sure to track these storms. I don't know, Brennan, do you have the ability, I know you'd have to go do a little bit of work in the background, but do you have the ability to maybe pull up maybe like the HER to take a look to tomorrow, but to
You're
pull
really
it up?
asking me.
Yeah, but I want to take a look at it like
Actually,
with the,
it
do you have
might
the
not
city
be
overlay?
as hard as I think, because I already
'Cause
have it set up for Pivotal
the,
with the satellite, so it might
oh, that's
actually
Pivotal
be
Satellite?
easier than I think.
Ah, okay, that would be cool. Yeah, because I'd love to see, the HER and the NAM and maybe the
You're
RRFS or
asking a
something
lot
like that.
from me.
I'm asking a lot. No, I'd love to. I would kind of want to, this obviously we're focused on the totality. Montreal is now in the totality right now, which is going to be cool. That's a pretty big population to be right in totality. So
I
Toronto
don't think
just missed out on this one.
Montreal proper is in totality. I think it was just to the south, so Sherbrooke will get it.
Oh, okay. Because based on the map that's above my head right now,
Yeah,
it like shows like the dot of
I think they
Montreal,
were
like right.
just on the edge.
I see. So it's like half of the
Our
city got it or
DMs
something.
are blowing up right now. Just as totality happened, my phone was just like beep, 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 beep. Everyone's sending us pictures.
Oh, cool. That's great. And by the way, if you want to post the pictures for everybody to see, head over to Ontario Storm Reports. We have a 1-day free pass on just sky photos, because normally we say, okay, that's if you want to send us a photo of like the full moon or something, that's cool, but also take a photo of like the ground for winter, because usually the ground is important because we want to see the surface. We want to see, is there snowfall? We want to see what the conditions are at the ground. But in this particular case, if you want to just send us if you want to just share your solar eclipse photos, then be my guest. You can do that. Brendan put a 1-day pass on this, so if you try to share it 3 days from now, we might decline them. But let's see here.
Oh, we would.
Oh, so this is
We know for
Holton.
sure.
What's ME? Is it Maine? Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, that's Maine.
Holton, Maine, right now. You can see on the NASA feed, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it's about to head towards, so it's going through Quebec right now, and it's heading towards New Brunswick. New Brunswick is going to get rocked pretty hard by the solar eclipse in a good way. So they're going to get a nice full view of it.
Better be careful with your words.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure. Hey, I mean, we're talking about we're talking about eyelid skin, so I mean, it's been an interesting stream so far for sure. Michelle says satellite, please. Yeah, can we flip back to the satellite and see what's going on there?
Yeah, we can.
Bridget says looks like it passed. Barry, can the kids go out and play without the glasses? I think so. It's pretty dark out there.
So you can see the satellite here. It's gotten significantly darker. That's updating. You can see how it's just like black over Ontario. You can't even see the clouds.
That's a huge difference. You can barely even see the cloud cover on the satellite feed. Wow. So you're saying you can take this feed right here and you can throw models underneath it? Yes, you can.
Hypothetically.
That would be awesome. Hypothetically, yes, you can. Anyways, I just want to take a look. I'm going to do it in the background now, and I'll try to tell folks where the latest model. I mean, the model's probably going to change, but we're genuinely concerned with tomorrow's risk in southern Ontario for storms. It is it kind of popped out of nowhere, and it's looking pretty intense. So we're going to see what happens here. Let me just take a look at the models in the background, and I will see what's going on. Yeah, my my messenger DMs are everybody's messaging me about it, but that's cool. I'm okay with that. It's like it reminds me of a storm day, you know? Like when the Barry tornado happened, my phone was like bzz, 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 so many people messaging me. It was wild. And I'm like, if I could message
I'm
them all
watching
back,
on
I'm like,
CNN right now, and they're experiencing the totality on top of a ski hill, and they're like sliding down right now.
they're literally
In
sliding down
Vermont.
the ski hill. That's cool. That's cool. That was pretty interesting though. Even in Barrie, like even with the cloud cover, it got really cold, and it got cold, and it got really dark. Not super duper dark. It's getting brighter now for sure, but it definitely it felt like it was like sunset. It was pretty cool. Louis said Sudbury Radio just played Total Eclipse of the Heart. I was thinking about learning it for the stream, and I'm like, nah, maybe not.
We don't need the
Brian says, where in
copyright
Southern
infringement.
Ontario? He's talking about the storm risk for tomorrow. Side note, Brennan, we got to get a forecast map going here. I know we've been deep in this stuff. You haven't had any time to do it, but we got to tackle that. I can help with it as well too if you'd like.
Oh,
But I
it's
know
all good.
you're the master of the maps right now, so it's all good. It's all
I love how Mother
good.
Nature is like throws everything at me, and then for a week I can go off the grid.
Yeah. There's I like that there's downtime sometimes, but we had some times where it was just ridiculous. Wow. You know what's running really slow right now? COD is running slow as molasses.
It's probably
I don't
because
think
everyone's using it for satellite.
For satellite, that's right. That's
Although
exactly right.
Pivotal, maybe I'm biased.
How's it running?
But I like Pivotal better.
I like Pivotal for certain things. I like COD for other things. Yeah. That's not a controversial take. I loved Pivotal before it was even Pivotal. Remember back in the day it had like some weird name like Oklahoma Weather or something, or it used to have a totally different name, and I was like, what is this gem of a model website? And then eventually they rebranded to Pivotal. And
their Eclipse maps were amazing.
Yeah, they were amazing. They got on that quick. So yeah, that's awesome. Let's see here. Trish says, OMG, that was so cool. Literally, it was cool. It got cold. Like, it went from 14 degrees to, like, I was outside. I was wearing this outside, and I'm like, I'm cold. I want to go back inside now. Kayla says the eclipse was anticlimactic in Alberta. Yeah, you're pretty far from it. I mean, you know, this is going from Texas to, like, Newfoundland, so it's quite a distance from you. But hopefully you're able to still see some of an eclipse. You know, I think you got about 30% there, 20%, 30%. Hopefully you saw some. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. It got cold. So is it over in Simcoe County? I think so.
New Brunswick is now experienced totality.
That's right. New Brunswick is now in totality. If you look at this map right above me, at some point in time, that giant chunk of west side of New Brunswick all the way to the east side of New Brunswick is going to be completely covered. Parts of PEI as well too. And then it goes right through Newfoundland too, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty exciting. I'm still trying to look at models. They're running like molasses, but I'm going to try. Oh, the 18Z is up. Okay, I got to get off COD. It's just running like, it's ridiculous. I'm going to go over Pivotal. Pivotal probably, see, Pivotal's running perfectly. You know what they do? You know what they're doing? Same thing we do, is they scale up servers and when they know they're going to have a lot of traffic. So that's why it's running way better.
I think they knew that it was going to be like, I'm surprised their website's still functioning.
No, it's great. They're scaling up just like we do, right? So they're running probably, I bet you they're running on Amazon, and I bet you they're running a ton of instances right now. You know, like during our peak times, we run like 50 different servers. We literally run like 50 servers. It's crazy. Sorry, what?
Their bill's gonna be crazy within a month.
Oh, their bill's gonna be wild, but that's why they put the little ad on there. They're trying to offset their costs. So, and we subscribe to it. It's great. So let's see here. I'm gonna just look at the her. Yeah. See, basically, it looks like the main area is kind of like Simcoe County up into Muskoka, and then up towards Deep River is kind of the main focus. But let's see what 18Z is showing us here. I'm just looking at the tornado parameters right now. You can't see this in the background, but I'm taking a peek at it. 18Z does not look as strong as 12Z did, but there's still quite an environment in southwestern Ontario, maybe around Guelph and Orangeville, up to Barrie, and then it kind of drops off. It looks a little bit later now, so that's interesting. Let me look at the supercell composite. So her has slowed down a bit. Actually, it has much more of an environment in southwestern Ontario. You can't see what I'm talking about, folks, but I'll try to describe it for you. Let's see here. It's still got some tracks kind of through Midland area. So Midland, maybe kind of from basically like Lake Simcoe through Beaverton and east. Again, these tracks can change, and they're probably just mainly hail, but there is a little bit of tornado risk tomorrow. So we're going to be live for sure for that. For sure. And let's see the timing on it here. Yeah, it's basically afternoon. So it starts as early as...
This was just our test stream.
1 o'clock. Yeah, this is our test stream for tomorrow. You put some nice graphics together, by the way, Brendan, like the opening sequence and all that kind of stuff. It looks really cool. So good job on that. It's fantastic. Yeah, it looks like storms are starting around 2 o'clock. Actually, deep southwestern Ontario seeing some tracks too. Okay. All right. So it looks like could see storms as early as 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Anyways, sometime around 1, I think. 1 or 2 o'clock. So we'll be streaming in the afternoon for sure tomorrow and tracking the storms that are in southwestern Ontario, central Ontario. Barbara says, what is your app? And for all those who have not downloaded, it is free. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. Huge thanks to those who have subscribed to remove ads and to extend the Future Radar up to 5 hours. We sincerely appreciate your support. And you can do that by clicking the menu at the top left, go to Upgrade Radar, and then you can subscribe there. So, and you don't have to subscribe, of course. If you want to use the app for free, that's great. And thank you so much. Sorry, St. Thomas is, whoa, look at that photo there by Denise on her Samsung phone. She got that in St. Thomas. Wow, that's pretty wild. Is she using a filter on that? I don't know if she was using a solar filter. That looks like she might have just been melting her camera there. If that was
during the totality, it would have been fine without.
Oh, that's right. If it was during totality. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that looks pretty wild. Well, that's pretty impressive. It looks like you're heading out. It's already across Prince Edward Island now, and it's heading up towards Newfoundland. Oh, totality just clips the very top of Cape Breton there. I just noticed that. So that's kind of cool. That would be an interesting place to be at the very, very, very top. Oh, yeah, you can see it there on Atlanta's map. Yeah, that's cool. So it'll just clip the top of the very, very, very top of Cape Breton in Nova Scotia, and then it's going to head out towards Newfoundland. Do you have the Newfoundland map as well, too?
Yep.
That's cool. Atlanta's wearing her instant weather hat. Cool. That's sweet. She went out there. What did she said her connection wasn't great, right? Everybody's using their cell phones at the exact same time. Yeah,
I figured that's why I considered if I was going to go somewhere to stream it, but I figured that I likely wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, it would have been,
the internet was sketchy even in my house.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's been pretty clear ever since you reconnected, though, so it's good. So yeah, it looks Newfoundland, Grand Falls, Bonavista Vista, areas north of St. John's. So if you're in Newfoundland, you still got time to get up to the totality.
One problem though.
What's that? Oh no.
Some areas.
Look, there's one spot. Hey, does the satellite? I don't think satellite's showing Newfoundland, is it?
I don't have it up there.
I could probably take a peek here. Let me just see. I'm gonna jump into checking if there is any cloud cover over in Newfoundland right now. Let me just double check. Let's see here.
Totality's almost in Newfoundland.
Yeah, the map looks good because the very, very center of the island has less cloud cover, but St. John's is completely covered, and areas in the west are completely covered. So yeah, it looks like that map is pretty rock solid that we put of where the best areas to see would be. This whole event moving quick. Wow, It is cooking. It's going fast. But thank you so much to everybody who's been joining us. We appreciate it. This is by far been our largest live stream. You'd think some tornado event or something like that would be, because that's kind of, that's our whole thing. But obviously we do a solar eclipse, and
we've grown a lot over the winter, so we may still set another record in the summer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And our communities have grown as well too, which is especially over the winter time. It's been growing like a weed. So that's pretty cool. And thank you to everybody who's joined our community. If you are on the Book of Faces, you can find us Ontario Stormwatch or our sister page, Instant Weather Ontario. And we also have our great reporting page, reporting group, on Facebook, which is Ontario Storm Reports. And huge thank you to our moderation team that takes care of that. Patricia and Lindsay and Alana and Liam and Brennan and everybody who helps with the monumental task of moderating the posts of, what is it at now? 250,000 people in there. It's pretty wild. So let's see here. Penny Lynn says, we're all hiding in our basements during the tornado broadcast. But yeah, you got to set up a little streaming thing down there. We're on YouTube when we stream. So if you set up a little TV down there, or if you just put up an iPad or a tablet or something like that, that's a good thing to do. So then you can still use your phones, right? And many people have asked if we could put the live stream into our mobile app so that they can still use the mobile app and also watch the live stream at the same time. We could do that. It is possible. So it's on the list somewhere, but yeah. The best way is probably like put it up on YouTube and then watch on your phone. So sectoral leader Cody says, thank you all for being part of the instant weather community. Cody, we met on Twitch and became part of our team. So thank you so much, Cody. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Actually, pretty much the wild thing is that everybody who's on our team came from the community, which does make sense because they're in the community. They're being very active. They're helping people with, a lot of times they're helping people with comments, or in Brennan's case, he was like sending me his forecast, and I'm just like, okay, you obviously know what you're doing. It's great. And you're very passionate. So, yeah, passion trumps everything. So all of our team members are very passionate. They, that's not something you can create randomly. You can't say to somebody, okay, you're hired and now be passionate. It just doesn't work. So it's preferable that we find out if people are passionate first and then they join the team and then they're passionate forever. So it's great.
And personality is important too.
Of course. Yeah. And our team, like, everybody gets along so great right now. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. We've had our bumps in the road over the years, but right now the team is it's like a well-oiled machine. It's fantastic. Mark says, with the Eclipse traveling at 1,000 miles per hour, it didn't take long. Yeah, that's a good point. That's pretty valid. Chantel says, thanks for your coverage. You're very welcome. I still want to talk about because we're just about out of totality for Canada. And so I'm going to keep bugging Brennan about bringing up some model data. And he's going to laugh and maybe not do it, but we'll see. We'll find out. Maybe even more importantly than Brennan
teasing you.
That's fine. Maybe more importantly than Brennan bringing up the model data is for him to actually start working on the forecast map. Because I put it out there that there's a risk tomorrow, but I kind of generalized where it could be. So if Brendan was able to work on that forecast, that'd probably be a good thing, I would think. So let me just see here. I'm just looking at a few different model runs in the background. Let's see what the RRFS is saying. Oh, it doesn't go far enough. Okay. And there's a lot of new models too on Pivotal as well. Let's see what the NSSL is saying. I'm just looking at this in the background, folks, while we finish tracking the totality. Yeah, the NSSL model, the WRF is saying basically like Meaford to Midland. Yeah, as quite a track there. So could see some Georgian Bay action tomorrow for severe thunderstorms. Probably hail seems very likely. And there is some damaging wind and tornado risk as well, too. So when we have rotating storms, obviously there's a chance of a tornado risk. So we're going to have to watch that closely and see how this does develop. But we may be dealing with some pretty intense stuff tomorrow. So, whoa, of course, the the FV3 HRW is always a little bit over the top, but wow, is it putting some wild tracks from like Midland to Minden, basically putting some very, very strong UH tracks. So yeah, we're going to have to continue to track this closely. Jennifer says, so no storms in Aurelia? It's possible. Aurelia is possible. Around Georgian Bay area and maybe up towards Petawawa. But some model runs are showing storms as far south as like, I'd say it looked about St. Thomas area, and then some put them in Orangeville. So there's a chance for severe thunderstorms across a decent chunk of southern Ontario tomorrow. We'll have to track that closely. We'll see. Catherine says storms in Kitchener. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says there's a storm risk like across the region. Like there's a chance of storms across the region. So So tomorrow will be another live stream. So you go from no instant weather live streams for how long? Since like the last big snowstorm, I think, to now we're streaming 2 days in a row. We go from our most prolific live stream ever for the solar eclipse. I think we capped out at 17 or 18,000 concurrent viewers. Wow, that is ridiculous. I can't. It's like basically filling the ACC. And then Just Because says tornado risk only Southern Ontario. Yeah, there's this. A lot of people when they hear Southern Ontario, they think like Windsor and London, and so that's southwestern Ontario. So Southern Ontario goes all the way up to like Parry Sound, basically, up to Britt, all the way over to Petawawa, Deep River, down to Ottawa, down to the GTA, Niagara. So that is Southern Ontario, covers basically everything south of like North Bay is Southern Ontario. So when we say Southern Ontario, we mean that whole region, which we cover on this page. We do have a sister page called Instant Weather Northern Ontario, and that covers Kenora, Dryden, Thunder Bay, all the way to Sault Ste. Marie, to North Bay, all the way up to Moosonee. That whole giant swath of Ontario, that is, of course, Northern Ontario. But Brendan, just flip back to that satellite map. This is basically Southern Ontario, what he's got up on the map here. Yeah, so this is basically Southern Ontario. So except for Sudbury, that is considered Northeastern Ontario. But from like Britt through Tobermory, down to Leamington, over to Niagara Falls, up to Kingston and Picton, Brockville, Cornwall, Ottawa, Deep River, Pembroke, Bracebridge, Huntsville. So the main risk seems to be kind of around Lake Simcoe, all the way up to Deep River. But again, some models are putting storms in like Orangeville, maybe a bit further south, maybe Kitchener, maybe down to kind of the Chatham region. So will those storms happen? It's questionable, but the storms from Georgian Bay up to Pembroke, those seem a lot more likely. So we will see, just based on the model data. That's what we're going after right now. So we're going to see. Brenda says, can you use your 3D Weatherverse to look at the forecast tomorrow? Not yet. And again, we've changed the name. So we've actually rebranded. So it's not called 3D Weatherverse anymore. It's called Virtue Weather. So VIRTU Weather, all one word. I'll put it in the comments here. So we've rebranded it. So 3D Weatherverse is now called Virtue Weather. And I'll put an exclamation mark there. I'll put that in the comments. So 3D Weatherverse is now called Virtue Weather. So it's like virtual weather. We put it together because there's a lot of explaining with Weatherverse. And people are like, what does that mean? There's a lot of explaining to it. But virtual weather, that kind of makes a little bit more sense for it. So yeah, so we are rebranding that, and the beta test will be available this summer. Actually, within a few weeks. I know we've been saying that for a while. We had to make some tweaks. We've rebranded it. All these things are happening. But yeah, but Virtual Weather, the beta test will be coming in the next few weeks. So that is pretty exciting. And Miss Harley Quinn says, do we know when the next solar eclipse is happening? So they happen every 18 months. So this isn't some unprecedented event. It's just a big event because it went right through a populated swath of North America.
I mean, but the next one isn't till in North America. It isn't until like 2044 or something.
Oh, was it 2040? I think it was 2045 or 2044. Yeah, maybe. It was one of those two. And then 40. I think the next one on Ontario is like 2099. So if you can like live till 2099, then.
I did a post yesterday about a tweet that in Ohio museum made that there's a rain date for September to 2099.
Yeah. So yeah, if you missed this one,
we'll see you in, what is that, like,
and Miss Harley Quinn says 2099 I'll be dead. Yeah, most of us will, but I mean that's it's neither here nor there. That's all good. Oh, hold on though, hold on. With technology, you never know. You never know. Supposedly, Kurt's Wheel says
could be debated if you really want to get in that debate.
Well, no, seriously, like a guy who predicts the future very well. It's Raymond Kurt's Wheel. Anyways, he talks about the singularity. Long story short is he says if you can actually live until 2045-ish, then every year you live, your life expectancy will go up a year. So it doesn't mean you're going to live forever. You get hit by a bus, whatever. But because of medical advancements and AI technology,
planet to be here and habitable for life.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be around for like it's a few billion years until the sun like eats the earth. So we got time. We got a few billion years. We're all good. Let's see here. Oh, Charlize is cool. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, "Hello, Instant Weather. Been watching your weather content. Kept me informed for about 3 years. Thanks for informing me of the weather. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much to thank you so much to everybody who has sent in super chats, who has sent in stars on Facebook, who has subscribed to remove ads in our app, all that kind of stuff. We sincerely appreciate all of your support. You're the reason we've been around for 10 years. It's been 10 years of instant weather. It all started with Ontario Tornado Watch, and then we expanded to Alberta Tornado Watch and Saskatchewan Tornado Watch, and then we rebranded all those to Alberta Storm Watch, Manitoba Storm Watch, and then we rebranded again to Instant Weather, and here we are. So it's been quite a journey for sure. Shelby says, saw totality, so cool. I stared at the sun with my bare eyes. That sounds horrifying. Now hold on. Did you stare when during totality you took off your glasses? If that's the case, then you're gonna be okay. But Kelsey says, when can we take off the glasses again? I think we're good now.
Never right now.
Never take off the glasses. Just wear them forever. You'll protect your eyes for sure. I remember when I was outside, we put the glasses on and it was pure black. And I'm like, wow, it's so dark, because the glasses they make it so dark. So it was kind of a joke. But yeah, so tomorrow is the... Yeah. So, I mean, okay. You know what? There's a great part. I mean, as exciting as this was, it's going to be nice to move on from the eclipse, because it's the eclipse.
I think
the
our
eclipse
comment
discussion
section is going to agree with you.
They're going to appreciate. Now it's bittersweet. It's like, it was so cool. It was so awesome. But now we can finally move on, because the eclipse has eclipsed our entire page. It has eclipsed our entire society. And now we can, Melissa says, thank God. Now we can finally move on from the eclipse. And we're not wasting any time. Tomorrow, severe thunderstorm risk in southern Ontario. So here we go. It's going to be interesting. So Brennan, is there any chance we have any models? No, it's fine. Brennan has a lot to do. He's got to make a forecast map. So if you're not on our Facebook page, if you're not on our Twitter page, these are the places where we post our forecasts. So it's a good place to be.
And I also send it out by notification on the app too.
True. If you have our free app, we will send out a notification. And we will put it in the little alert bar at the very top that we have a new forecast. It'll direct you to our website. And from there, you can actually see the full forecast. So if you want to see our forecast for the severe thunderstorm, a risk that is happening tomorrow, this will be Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, the 9th of April, tomorrow. So if you want to see that severe thunderstorm forecast when Brennan is completed it, and we've reviewed it and tweaked it and make sure it's rock solid.
It will also be on instantweather.ca/Ontario.
True, that's a good place. Yeah, so if you want to go to our website, instantweather.ca/Ontario. And also, again, if you want to download our free app so you can get notified when the forecast is ready, and also notified if there's a severe thunderstorm watch, or if, which I do expect there to be probably tomorrow. It's up to Environment Canada, but based on the parameters, it looks like it's quite probable that we'll see maybe a severe thunderstorm watch, maybe some warnings, but again, that's up to them. But you can download our free app at instantweatherapp.com. Or just go to the App Store, search Instant Weather, look for the white and blue logo. If we remove this banner, you can see at the very bottom, hold on, this way. If you see the very, very, very bottom left of the screen, you see our IW logo. That is the logo of the app. The app is free. So if you see apps that are like paid for, I think there was an Insta Weather app that was like $4 that some people were confused about. That's not our app. Our app is free. So if you download our app, it's free, Instant Weather. And then look at keep checking the alert bar, keep loading the app, and look at the very top, and you'll see when the forecast is available. So, Brennan, I'm assuming that's next on your list right now. Is that what you're going to tackle?
Next on my list is getting food in my stomach.
Oh, well, I meant after that. Okay, time for food. It's 4 o'clock? Yeah, I'll probably eat something too. So, all right, so it's 4 o'clock. We are going to check the models. We are going to work on the forecast. We still have somehow 12,000 people on the live stream, even after the eclipse is over. You folks are incredible. Thank you so much for following us. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. You can go to YouTube, search Instant Weather. You'll see our channel there and subscribe. I think we've got about 13,000 subscribers right now, but let's try to get that to 15. Let's try to get that to 20. The more people that subscribe to our channel, the more that YouTube shows it to new people. So our whole thing from the very start, thank you, Brennan. Yeah, so youtube.com/the @Instant Weather. So our whole thing since 2013 has been to raise awareness about tornadoes and severe weather. And that basically comes with the idea of the more people we can reach, the more we can raise awareness about severe weather and get Environment Canada's alerts to people quickly, get our own notifications for rotating storms to people fast, and get our forecast to people well in advance so they can make preparations for dealing with severe weather. So if you're prepared, then you're not scared. Of course, everything is much better. So it's there's the Cleveland, Ohio. You can see it's the moon's starting to shift now. The big event is pretty much done. I think it's already moved east of Newfoundland now. So that's your solar eclipse, folks. It was quick. I didn't realize it was that fast. That was shockingly fast. I thought when we went live, it was like already happening in Texas. And then I'm listening to you and you're like, it's still over the ocean. I'm like, what? It's okay. That was pretty quick. So anyways, I think that's pretty much it, eh, Brennan?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
For it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brendan, for all your help. I appreciate you putting together the live stream and all the graphics and everything. A huge thank you to Brendan. Everybody give him a big round of applause. Brendan's the man. Yay. Thank you so much. Kevin McDonald says, everyone should get this app. It can be a lifesaver. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'll link it in the comments as well, too. So you can download our free app at instantweatherapp.com. And a smiley face there. I put that in the comments for you. Thank you so much, everyone. We sincerely appreciate it. I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's staying safe. And we'll be live again tomorrow because it's Storm Day. It's Tornado Tuesday tomorrow. So
Tornado Tuesdays are back.
I know, right? We're starting the season on a Tuesday with a tornado risk. So there's 2024 for you folks. Here we go again. So it's all good. We'll do it together, and it'll be okay. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Brennan.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you later.